the currency of life, right? People think it's money, and yes, money is important, and it does let you trade certain things for time, but it doesn't really buy your time. Ask Warren Buffett how much time money can buy you, or Michael Bloomberg. So money is not the real currency of life. And time itself doesn't even mean that much, because a lot of time can be wasted because you're not really present for it. You're not paying attention. So the real currency of life is attention. It's what you choose to pay attention to and what you do about it. You can put your attention on the news, but that's how you're spending the real currency of life. So just be aware of that. If you want to, that's fine. There's no right or wrong here. Like, maybe it is your destiny to pick something in the news, learn about that problem, adopt that problem and solve it. But just be careful, because your attention is the only thing that you have.
We have language, we have consciousness, we have immense powers. Those powers developed under the pressures of necessity, of having to get things done, of having to survive in a very brutal, ruthless world where a leopard could pop out tomorrow and eat me, where there were dangers all around, where food was scarce. And under the pressure, we had to think, we had to be creative, we had to be inventive, we had to be strategic. The human brain evolved under immense amounts of pressure. And I almost like to think of it in terms of barometric pressure. So in your brain, when you're feeling that barometric pressure, it's like, I gotta get this done, or I'm gonna fail, and this project won't happen, and people will laugh at me. You work like a fiend. Energy, your whole body responds, right? Your blood gets moving. You accomplish things that would normally take you months. You do it in days because you feel that pressure. You take away that pressure and you don't know what to do. And I've got like 3 years, I could do this or that. Another, you just wander around, you're lost. You have no energy, you have no focus. So your brain needs pressure. It needs constant pressure. And stress and pressure is not a bad thing. We have this thing where we feel like stress is bad. It's bad for you. Bad. You need to relax, man. You need to chill. Stress will kill you. No, being bored will kill you. Not having anything to do will kill you. Is much more dangerous than stress. Yes, you can work too hard. You can work where there's no soul involved. I work like a fiend because I'm writing a book. But man, I love it. It's fantastic, right? And it could kill me. The stress could kill me, gave me a stroke. But I'd rather die under the stress than be bored and have nothing to do. Okay? So feeling that pressure, it makes your eyes pop open. It makes your brain focus. It makes you alert. It makes you want to live. It makes everything seem exciting to you because you've got to get things done.
And so you say in your life, well, something grips you and fills you with interest. And you think, well, should I do that? And the answer is, if not that, then something. What if it's a mistake? It's a mistake. Rest assured. What do you know? And you might say, well, and there is a literature too that suggests that people are a lot more unhappy when they look back on their lives about the things they didn't do than they are about the mistakes they made while they were doing things.
You may feel hopeless many, many times, but you need to continue to do the activities that are aligned with your goal. You may feel hungry, but you need to not eat the cookie to stay aligned with your goal.
Whether you're happy or unhappy at the end, it tends not to last. Now, I don't want to be glib and say that, oh, there's no point in making money or being successful. There absolutely is. Money solves all your money problems. So it is good to have money. But I would say in general, this loop that we run through of desire, dopamine, fulfillment, unfulfillment. Like you have to enjoy the journey. The journey is all there is, right? 99% of your time is spent on the journey. So what kind of a journey is it if you're not going to enjoy it?
Life can be kind of difficult, right? You don't really know sometimes where you're headed. Nobody kind of gives you any kind of guidance in this world. You have to find your own path.
You waste precious time dreaming of the future instead of engaging in the present. Since nothing seems urgent to you, you're only half involved in what you do.
You're building a muscle either way. You're either building the muscle that says, I do what I say, I keep the commitments that I make, or you're building the muscle that says, I make excuses. I don't do what I say. I can't be counted on.
If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would it. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
You don't know.
It's what you do today and today and today that leads you to your big tomorrow.
Power is pure psychology. Pure psychology. And what I mean by that is the CEO of a company, he doesn't get there based on, it's not like baseball, whereas you have a good batting average or OPS. All right, you're going to get in the lineup. They're going to bat you in the cleanup spot. Okay, life isn't like that. So the way somebody rises to the CEO, and I know because I was on the board of directors of a publicly traded company, is not about metrics. It's not about things that they've actually done. It's about psychology, right? People rise to positions of power because they know how to play the game, and they know how to play the game's psychology. They know how to appear. They know how to play the optics. They know how to intimidate. They know how to say less than necessary. They know all the psychological little gambits. And that's why I wrote the 48 Laws of Power. It's kind of like, this is the game of life, the game of power. The rules are a little bit nebulous. But here's how you play. You play by mastering these little psychological bits. One of them is your reputation.
I look at the people who don't like themselves, and that's the toughest slot because they're always wrestling with themselves. And it's hard enough to face the outside world. And no one's going to like you more than you like yourself. So if you're struggling with yourself, then the outside world becomes an insurmountable challenge. And it's hard to say why people have low self-esteem. It might be genetic, it might just be circumstantial, but self-esteem issues can be the most limiting. Self-esteem is the reputation you have with yourself. You're watching yourself at all times, you know what you're doing, and you have your own moral code. Everyone has a different moral code. But if you don't live up to your own moral code, the same code that you hold others to, it will damage your self-esteem. So perhaps one way to build up your self-esteem is to live up to your own code very rigorously, have one, and then live up to it. Another way to raise your self-esteem might be to do things for others.
I would encourage anyone who's not necessarily feeling confident about asking questions and being inquisitive in their classroom or their workplace, start with just 1 or 2 questions. Start with 1 or 2 people that you think will be receptive to a question. And then that's kind of how you're going to build your confidence. And you're going to realize more often than not, people have interesting things to say when you ask them questions.
People say you can't do that. You can do anything. We are God's highest form of creation. There is nothing on the planet that will equal us.
You have to work harder than the average person. And if you accept those terms, you cannot complain about those terms. I have only known success on the back of consistency. Do I think you could be a success without being consistent? Perhaps, if you have other resources and tools that I was never given. But coming from where I am, my perspective has only been consistency, and the discipline has been everything that I have ever gotten on the back of doing it again and again and again.
Humans are the ultimate adaptation machine. We are literally wired from the ground up in order to grow and improve under stress and pressure. So it's like, what's the phrase? Pressure can burst pipes, but it also creates diamonds. Yes. So it's like, you need the pressure. And yes, it can hurt, but it can also make something amazing if you're willing to put yourself in that situation. So it's a weird twist of fate that humans, in order to build the muscle, you first have to tear it, right?
Yes.
So, but once you accept that that's how it works, you can do extraordinary things.
So many times we get so locked into, what am I going to do in 20 years? How am I going to get to this great, grandiose, amazing thing in my life? How do I live a life of purpose? How you live a life of purpose is whatever the next right choice, the next right action in your life is, it's being purposeful and making that a lot of the things began to illuminate and take care of themselves.
And what we have sometimes is we have an intuition about things in the moment. So maybe in retrospect, I'm creating a story that didn't really exist back then. But at the same time, I kind of knew of the future. I kind of knew that this would happen. I had a feeling of fate. It was always there. It's weird. I know it sounds woo-woo. I'm sorry to say, but it's very real. And I've studied millions of successful, famous people, and a lot of them report the same thing. Sometimes you don't realize it, but your body and your brain has a sense of even the future and of where you're headed, but you're not totally aware of it. So if people don't know that they want to be a writer, they want to go into engineering, it's that they'll never make those little connections that I was able to make. And having that sense that you want to be a writer, that you want to make films, that you want to start a particular kind of business, if you're interested in technology, creates a framework in your brain that kind of changes how you make decisions. You're not totally conscious of it, but not everything in life you're totally conscious of. Things are operating below the level. There is something in you that is guiding you towards certain things.
Too often we let other people bury our own instincts. And I think that when you allow those voices to shut you down, it blocks you from your full potential. So I would just say, it's great. If you can clearly say, I want to blaze a new trail here and do this new thing, awesome if you know that. But even if you don't, listen to yourself. Listen to what it is that you love to do, that you find yourself lighting up when you think about, and then just go and try to be the best at that thing.
So 2 paths to happiness, and one path is to success. You get what you want, you satisfy your material needs, or like Diogenes, you just don't want it in the first place. And if the end goal is happiness, then why not cut to the chase and just go straight for it?
I think being really clear with yourself about what success looks like is really important, because if you start to get it, it becomes this rocket ship that you're riding on, and you are not going to have the control then of it.
I think we underplay how simple success is and extrapolate an expectation of how easy it must be from that. And then we're disappointed or dissatisfied when it doesn't meet those expectations. Like, it is harder than we expect, but also the rewards may be also greater than we expect.
Mindset is everything. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, ugh, I have to go to work. Ugh, I have to walk to the train station. I have to go to school. I have to work out. If you change the word I have to I get to, what a mind shift. What a complete flipping of the script.
If it makes you a worse person, it's not success. If starting a business tears your relationships apart, makes you bitter or frustrated with people, then it doesn't matter how much money it makes or external praise it receives. That's not success.
What do you want your life to look like? If you don't have a sense of day-to-day what you want your life to look like, or who you want to be in your life, it's very easy to lose your bearings very quickly, because you're going to get offered things. You know, do you want to go over here? You want to do this? Do you want to do that? You are doing what makes rational sense or is in your immediate self-interest, but it may well be taking you much, much further away from where you want to go or where you should go.
I've met many more very rich men who've chased that dollar to be successful and to be relevant for having the most money, that the last 15, 20, even younger years were bewildered, lost, had no relationships, didn't have purpose. Chasing the dollar, they just did it. They were good at it and made it happen, but they didn't feel what they were doing. They couldn't even necessarily say what they were really good at.
If you're a loser, then you'll want to be a winner, and then you'll develop all the characteristics that'll help you be a, quote unquote winner in life.
Greatest skill is the ability to discern what things to use and what things to cast out. It is the central narrative of noise versus signal. And the reason that I've spent such a disproportionate amount of time focused on behavior was because there's so much noise that if people cannot translate their quote advice into what I should do, then there's nothing useful about it, which is why I think the density of useful information, I think people are bloodhounds for value, but I think that value gets translated in the most crystallized, distilled, concentrated manner when it can be translated into do this instead of that, period. And everything else, the amorphous words that people use, especially the motivation manifesto, or just manifestation, we'll get into that one. And so they take the entirety of someone and without all of the other conditions that apply to that person and say, oh, I will take this and apply it to my life. And if you cannot pull out what is useful for you, you will never win.
Competition is for losers. When people compete, someone loses. So go where you're the only one. Do what only you can. Run a race with yourself.
The essence of Stoicism is this idea that you focus on what's in your control. And Epictetus said something very similar about 2,000 years before Peter Thiel. He said, if you only run races where winning is up to you, you'll always win, right? If winning for you is, I have the most money, if winning for you is, I'm the most beloved, I'm the most well-known, I received the most awards, if winning to you requires someone or something to deem you something, you might get it, but you also might not get it. If your goal is to be the best version of yourself or to put a certain amount of time or energy or to push yourself to a place that you've never been before, well, now winning is something that's in your control.
Well, success has taken on different definitions over time. It used to have to do, and some people listening to this will be like, come on, McConaughey. It used to have to do with integrity. Or that actually, I think, was a word that was in the definition in 1901 or 11. And now, money, fame, that's your definition of success. So the last, for a lot, the residuals decline on quality of life. I've met many more very rich men who chase that dollar to be successful and to be relevant for having the most money, that the last 15, 20, even younger years were bewildered, lost, had no relationships. We all want to be relevant, but I think we all forget to ask ourselves, relevant for what, before we chase our relevance or chase success. I think there's a difference between success and profit. I mean, profit does pay you back. Can you do things, and I love money, I'm all for it, but I see a lot of one-way tickets that are, you can get successful, win, have more money, but not be making a profit. Redefine, everyone can have their own definition of success, and ask yourself, can I have quality with the quantity, and can I have profit with my success? And profit leans into relationships. I think profit ends up to be a spiritual question too. And how we treat ourselves and others. I think it's a longer game. This chase for just success, if that's money and quantity, is a short-sighted game. If that's all you're after. Now I understand some people out there who can't pay their rent, who are sick and trying to make it to the next day, or would listen to this and go, easy for you to say. And I say, you are correct. I'm speaking from my position because you asked me. Because you got some people that are going, this is a hyperbolic conversation you're having. I'm trying to make it to the next day.
Type B person with a type A problem thinks, what a champagne issue that is.
Yeah. It's a real one, and I'm apologizing for it, but I understand the difference. But I would say that if more people that just check your quality as you're chasing your quantity, and make sure that whatever you're succeeding at is giving you actual profit and actually paying you back.
If you're tired of waking up unmotivated, it is time you download the Mindset Daily Motivation app and start your day with new motivational alarms. Let's